Welcome back. Welcome to Can't Catch a Break. Hi, my name is DJ and Dr. Shar. She is busy having a project on today. And today I want to talk about genes. Does genes has an influence on our behavior? The word genes, I'm talking about G-E-N-E, genes, not J-E-N-S as pants. I'm talking about genes. Does it have influence on our behavior? And on today's time we're living in now, we're living in a time where people will label you. Well, you get that from your mom. When your child do something bad or something, you just like your mom, you like your daddy. But does genes influence each individual behavior, whether it's psychological, whether it's intellectual, or personality, or even mental illness, in the act of mental illness? Does it have a toll? Does it take a toll? The gene, your makeup, what you inherited from your parents, your father and mother, what you inherited, the eye color, your hair color texture, your skin tone, your blood group, AB or AB or O, or freckles in your face, or your hand or your dimples. There's a lot of questions there about the genes. What did you inherit? Often people talk about, I inherit that gene down from my generation. Okay, is the gene that strong, where did it take over your DNA? Does it that strong where the DNA say, well, come alive and say, well, you're gonna be like that person? Your DNA, from your parents. Kind of lost here because I hear a lot of questions regarding the genes and why do people act that way, the way they do. And the social, we got a lot of social behaviors from all humans, the characteristics, but that's multiple factors. I say, when you agree, there's multiple factors why people act like they do. It's by the chemical imbalance, the chemical in their body. They inherit from their parents, such as DNA again. Is there an environment, your environment, that that this has caused you acting like that? The misconception is so great these days that with the labeling was really puzzling, because it seems like some people want to put you in a category of this gene. This gene has so much power over you, of your structure, your makeup, where it's controlling you. Gene, y'all. I'm just kind of puzzled. Researchers, they will never find a single gene that's entirely responsible for multiple behaviors, complicated behaviors. Genes, it's a trait. The characteristics, there's so much in the gene. The aspects of, it's a wide result. There's hundreds of individual genes. We talk about that. Even all our genes, behaviors, if they were discovered. But the behavior could not, for me, be fully explained, nor predicted. The evil, the human conception when it comes to a human being, the do's and don'ts, the rights and wrongs, what's right and wrong. What's right and wrong. You have a conscience. Your parents, some parents, they teaches you that. The Bible teaches you rights and wrongs. It shows you in the Bible how you should live. It teaches you. And it's important. Like, I can see if you was in another neighborhood and you grew up in a neighborhood that was complicated, where there's a lot of drugs and guns and violence, and you grew up in that, and they influence you. To me, that's what them influence you, your behaviors. Inheriting genes is totally different, because once again, we begin to talk about, I just explained that, how we are made up from eye color, the hair color, the texture, the skin tone, the blood group, the freckles, the hands, the dimples. We are made up in the areas from our parents. And the factors is that even growing from height differential, how tall you gonna be. It's your parent. If your parent was tall from the gene, if they were 6 or 7 foot, you grow up to be 6 or 7 unless something stop you. Some cells in your body or stop you from growing, or that's genes that plays parts in that your makeup. What how you grow, the height, and the mirror. Especially if you're eating, they giving you proper food. If you're not eating, then those things also in your gene could take effect where you could be not as tall, or it could some hindrance in there. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but I know that eating healthy and certain foods you eat will develop you with that gene you have in your body. Because it's there. Having a tall parents, like I said, it's environmental factors. I believe, your nutritional intake. So it's we are genetically influenced. We have genetically influenced characteristics. Look at us. Everyone's just different here. Look at society. Look at the people from all ethnic backgrounds and genes. How we are shaped, how we are molded, how God, He created man in His own image, but also we see that there's a different race, different ethnic background of people when it comes to culture. Behavior is due to misconception of not having, when it comes to misconception of not having a father and mother, to me, in the home, helping that child to grow up to be what they can be, to be there, helping them and teaching them. And that's what, to me, when it comes to environmental and the things, the surroundings and influencing, then these behaviors are common because of where they at, the situation they're in, and the life struggles that they go through dealing with the issues of life. And some of them can't take the things that they are dealing with, so because of this is something they wasn't expecting. So in the meantime, either some folks become mental because of what's going on. So the genes, we can say, some people say it was in my genes that my family has mental illness, or that's why down in my genes, that's the gene that we have. But God is bigger than the gene. God is the one that can help you through peace in the mind. He's the one that can help you in those areas. And if we let God take control of our lives, then those things that come about, this is then because they got God can help them get through that. I believe that. For me, I'm just talking on behalf of what I believe and what the Bible says, and that God does miracles. God does anything but fail. Yes, we have a lot of negative influences out here in the day and time we're living in. We got a bunch of people that are creating a negative environment by the lifestyles, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. And then you get someone that don't have anything, and never brought up or trained, all of a sudden they just grow up without direction, then they'll be caught up in that environment of acting out. You see many of our jail cells and jails, young and old, all ethnic backgrounds of race in jail, because of the way someone was influenced by it. We can't blame the parents for everything. The parents, they raise their child up. they give them the right direction, and they decide to go out and do something just because they want to do it, being disobedient and rebellion, and it's on them. That wasn't the parents' gene, because they'll try to put it on the gene. The gene, well, that parent gene just like him. I mean, they probably do what he do or she do what they do, but that's not true. I mean, and we look at that, where of the child parent-child relationships. They're either in adoption homes, foster homes, and sometimes that gets the best of a child mentally when the parents don't want them no more, and they come around a different environment where some of these kids they're around has been rejected by their parents or their peers, the people that took care of them. So it's a lot of mental factors that's going on here. From behavioral genetics, and so when we look at that, when we look at what influences has been demonstrated, even in our church surroundings, a lot of people come together in church, but and it might have some problems. Some have problems, but it's hitting. That's one thing. God, He will help the people when. In those areas to get back, especially their children that are in trouble. God can touch the hearts and minds of those, and in churches. So sometimes, in churches we don't have a psychologist. We don't have them in church. In churches there's a lot of problems, but Jesus dealt with them in the Bible when He went and sat down with the people at the table and ate dinner with them that was messed up folks that were sick. He was the physician in that area, and that's the church with God, with Jesus Christ. God, they want to help people that are children and all that's having these kind of oppression, depression, mental illness, and just want to help them. And by faith, we believe. I believe it's by faith that because He helped me. When I was out there, and didn't know just doing what I want to do, but when I got to see the real side from the things of how doing good before and being somewhere where influences were positive, it changed me even more. Someone told me, someone helped me. They showed their love, the warmth. See, children need warmth. They need support. And we're in a generation now when the kids are not being have that parent warmth or that support. They're being rejected. They don't, especially I'd say in the house of God, the church, how we, the older ones, that's older adults, and we see the teenagers and youngsters who are just don't want to be bothered, because when they look at us, they might come from a home or something, or they look at someone that come from a home. They came from a home where it was nothing but fighting, and they come to the church and they see that it runs them away. The people know that these children are watching us like that. When they see that, and these kids see that, and it runs them away. So they are very, very observing. The teenagers today, they're much wiser. They're more into social media, phone. They're more into getting into things that they think to them that's going to do them some good, but also it does them harm. And that's when the parents are needed to be in the house, be in the homes, and that's what we're missing right now, because the parents. You can destroy a child, even though they're your gene. You gave birth to them, but you can destroy a child. You can destroy a young adult. We must encourage the children, encourage them so they can grow up in this generation. So the things that they see others facing, they can be a encourager or mentor to them, to help them that are in trouble, that's been rejected by parents who they may have, who rejected him, and because today you have many foster kids out here that are in the system, that are attending high schools, and they don't have really no parent figure, because the parents are giving up, so they're around children, teenagers. They're around teenagers, so that are influenced by negative behavior. So now they walk into that environment. So that's why the church and the people who raise their children up to be encouraging to those that are not so as fortunate, that they won't be caught up in the system, no matter what color you are, race you come from. Parents are needed to be there, control, exert, the responsibilities to help children from other families. I mean, we often hear that it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes more than a village to help siblings how to deal with in relationships with people. And that's what society right now is. What we're living in for 2023 has not. So now it's like they abandoned most of the has abandoned a lot of the youngsters, teenagers. Too many of them are dying in the streets, into prostitution, because of the abuse and neglect of a parent not at home. It's so much going on. We must have empathy, sympathy. We must communicate. We must reach out to those ones that had parents and they rejected them. Some have given them up to foster parents, and because of their genes, but that don't mean that they can be like that, because that's where we got parents. We have people out here that can be mentors to those children, those teenagers, and dealing with peer pressure, dealing with not being liked, unwelcome, feeling like they don't have anything because their life, what they been dealt, the hand they've been dealt. It's so much happening in society today. There's, like I said, there's a few studies probably been done, in the genetic and over environmental, and peer relationships. Peer. Your peers. From adolescence. The characteristics of what's been found, the evidence of things. The genetic influence of the parents. And right now we see there's a lot of trouble in that area because parents are not being parents. Some are, and some are. And you got girls and you got young men, and you see how some of them are being raised. You see how they're not comfortable who they are, the identity crisis. We see because they've been rejected by their parents, and or they just want to, and they got hooked. They started being influenced by another kind of behavior, and emotional problems, taking its toll on them. And so, and one thing I'll tell you this, one thing in this day and time, we must protect. There's going to be a lot of betrayal and criticism from our young people, teens, kids, as they growing up in a society that's full of influences, especially on the academic side, and the popularity side. When we look at this, how this growing rapid change is happening in 2023, how we see that all over the world we see the new social media that's been going that's now has taken over the airwaves, which is is attract a lot of people, and how we must be positive on the social media to promote and help those that are dealing with such a rejection and behaviors that they can't seem like they can't make it. We must be encouraging the families because genetics, once again, genetics influences is very, very powerful. The behaviors, and they haven't found that it was that the way a person because of the genes. They haven't found that. They haven't found it yet. I'm not a doctor, but I do read. Researchers have not. They said they would never find a single gene that is entirely responsible for most complicated behaviors. They won't, because it's more deeper when it comes to natural and spiritual. It's much deeper. It's a deeper meaning. The aspects of the mind, the heart, the will, and the soul, and the spirit of a person. So we will always be aware as people that the environment we live in has great influences on people when it comes to factors, especially like parents, like parenting and schooling. But there'll also be a lot of trauma behind this because of what these people, youngsters, grown adults, what's been shaping in America. But we must play a critical role in helping the ones that are being left out, abandoned, and not based upon a gene. Once again, a gene. I'm talking about the gene. Okay, I want everybody to know the myth. The mythology. The things of how people say. You have a lot of opinions on this. So, what do you think? I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving my opinion, and I just want to say thank you all for listening once again to Can't Catch a Break. And I want to leave you with this. Is that if I take what you know and you take what I know, then we will be as twice as smart. All right. So I just want to say, God bless. Y'all have a good day. Wish you the best always. Enjoy your life. That's from DJ and Dr. Shar. Love you.